Start with the next topic, receivables management. This also comes under working capital management, because under working capital, one of the next main component to stock is receivables management. Okay, so in this chapter, we will be discussing on receivables management. So what are receivables? Receivables, otherwise called as debtors, they are the sales made on credit basis. So why do we need receivables to reach the sales potential? Because business people will not buy on cash basis, they buy only on credit basis. Therefore, to reach the sales potential, we need receivables. And also, in order to meet the competition, when your competitor company is selling on credit, you also need to sell on credit. Therefore, in order to maintain competitive spirit, this receivables management is to be done. And then understanding the receivables, it has to be understood as a part of the operating cycle. So if you see this operating cycle, the receivables, they generate cash to the company, and from the cash they pay to the inventory is raw material suppliers. To them they make the payment, and from the once you make the payment, raw materials are supplied, production happens, sales happen, and once sales happen in the company, receivables or debtors arise. From the debtors, cash. So hence it is called as a operating cycle. Hope we have discussed already under working capital already. Okay, now the next one. So granting credit, it is one of the important decision to be taken by the company. They decide whether to give credit or not. And then next important thing a company has to decide on credit is duration of the credit period. So when we say credit policy, it refers to whether to give credit or not, and if they have decided to give credit, what should be the period. Normally companies give credit for 30 days or 60 days or 45 days or 90 days, but the maximum would be normally 90 days, which comes to 3 months. That is, if you buy the raw material now, okay, you can pay it after 3 months. That is, in the month of August you can pay the money. So only in the month of August your money becomes due for the purchase of raw material. So within these 3 months of time, you can rotate it, you can convert the raw material into finished goods. You can sell it for credit sales. Then you can also convert as cash, and with the cash you can pay the raw material suppliers. So that is why companies allow this 3-month credit policy. Okay, decision based on cost benefit analysis. So companies, they have to decide the credit policy or the credit period based on the cost and benefit analysis, when the benefit will accrue. Depending upon that, the cost benefit analysis, they decide on whether to give credit or not, or what is the period of credit. Okay, so all these are positive net benefit credit granted. If it is net benefit, then the credit will not be granted to the debtors. Different types of costs are associated with the receivables. So when the company decides to sell on credit, receivables arise. Whenever there is a receivable for the company, these are the costs that are incurred. Collection cost. The first one is collection cost, capital cost, delinquency cost, default cost. Collection cost is, see, once it becomes 3 months due, okay, once you agree to collect it after 3 months, you need to also give reminders for 3 months. The debtor has to be maintained, his books are to be maintained properly, or his accounts are to be maintained. So that is called as collection cost. So at the time of 3 months due time, he has to be given a follow-up letter. Then the money, the accountant should see to it that the money is being realized. If not, again reminder has to be sent. Okay, all these are called as a collection cost. Okay, and then capital cost. See, for giving them on a credit basis, you need some other fund to rotate, is it not? So for the time being, you arrange funds from other sources, that is called as your capital cost. Okay, இப்போ 3 months கழிச்சு தான் பணம் வரும் அப்படின்னும் போது for the 3 months you need to manage, right? So for the 3 months you'll arrange a short term loan. Delinquency cost. Delinquency cost is if the customer fails to meet their obligation. Delay cost. So within 90 days if he is not paying the money, okay, like if there is delay in the payment, every day means a lot to you because you would have given commitment to your supplier to pay on the 90th day. Okay, if your customer is not paying you the money, then you need to cut a sorry figure before your supplier. So or you have to arrange money from some other source and pay your supplier, and that is what is called as the delay cost. So for the 3 days or again 10 days delay in payment, you need to make up that loss. That is what is called as delinquency cost. Default cost, if at all the debtor fails to pay you the money, then the debtor becomes bad debt. If that is the case, entire thing is a lost. So these are the various costs involved in receivables. When a company goes for receivables or credit sales, they need to incur all these 4 costs. Okay, and the next one is objectives of receivable management. You can just have a look at it. Creating, presenting and collecting accounting receivables. Establish and communicate the credit policy, stating that what is the period of credit, and then evaluation of customers and credit limits. So for each customer the limit may also vary. Sometimes for some customer it will be 30 days, for some other person it may be 90 days. For some other customer, it may be initially 10% money you pay, remaining 90% you can pay later. So all these depends upon the evaluation of customer. If the customer seems to be good, you'll be given liberal credit policy. Ensure prompt and accurate billing. They have to check whether everything is being accounted properly, maintaining up-to-date records with the company, so that they will know as to what is the age of the debtor, whether it is 15 days, 30 days or 60 days. So as every day goes on, they should be able to say that this debtor is 10 days old, this debtor is 11 days, this debtor is 15 days old. That has to be maintained properly. Initiate collection procedure on overdue account. If the debtor is not paying, he becomes an overdue account. So procedures are to be undertaken for collection. Okay, steps in credit analysis. Before giving credit to a customer, before making credit sales, 5 things will be evaluated. Credit analysis is done. Character, reputation, track record of the debtor will be checked, whether the company is in a good shape, whether they are profitable company, will they be able to repay, whether they have the capacity, capital, financial position of the debtor, collateral, whether they have sufficient assets with them, and then they will also check the economic condition and competitive factors that may affect the profitability of the customer. Okay, so steps in credit analysis, what they do is they analyze the financial statement of the debtor. They have a check with the banker with whom the debtor maintains. Similarly, like how when we go for buying any loan, our banker will do all these things, no? You will ask for our salary certificate, or if you have applied for educational loan, they would have asked for your parents' income certificate. So that is what is financial statement. Bank references, whether you have obtained loan from other things, other banks, etc. Then they'll also refer for the trade references. Credit bureaus will be verified. Third party guarantee may sometime be required, or field visit. Come from the company, a representative will go and visit the debtor company and see whether things are in proper shape and state. Only after making all this credit analysis, they will be granted. Okay, so why? What is the need for doing this receivables, or why to give the customer credit, and then why to do receivables management? It improves customer satisfaction because customer will be happy that he did not pay immediately. So customer satisfaction is improved. Takes control of sales process, manage your sales process more effectively by measuring trends and analyzing performance, and enhance your productivity. So when you give more credit, like more sales will be there, so more productivity. It will also reduce the administrative costs. Streamline revenue allocation. So when you do a managed calculation to fit your business needs, it will be beneficial for the company, providing access to the vital information. Okay, there are different methods of collection. Centralized, decentralized collection method. Centralized, decentralized collection method refers to, where every customer have to come and pay the money only to the head office. That is what is called as decentralized. Sometimes it may be that they can pay in any branch of the company. If that is so, it is called as decentralized collection system. Post-dated check, normal method of getting credit sales. Whenever they sell any credit goods, they get a post dated check after 3 months date. They will get it from the customer and they'll issue the products. That is normal procedure. Pay order or bank draft, where on a post dated day a bank draft may be issued. Bill of exchange, guarantee obtained from the debtor that he'll pay on a future date. Lockbox system we'll tell you later. Dropbox system is where those who have credit cards, or if you have any credit card, if your parents have the credit card, you would have seen that every month you need to make the payment. That payment need not be put directly in a to the concerned credit card company. They can put it in a drop box in a available or nearest branch. For example, HDFC will have a drop box in their branch, where you can go and drop the check. Similarly, companies will have a Dropbox system in their banks or in a post office, where the clients or the debtors can come and drop it. Factoring, I'll explain you later. Collection agents, where the company can send their agents to collect the money. Or debt collector, once a particular person may be allotted, like gundas to collect credit card money back. These debt collector may be appointed by the companies to collect the due money from the company. Delcredar agent is one who is a special agent, which all circled will be explained in the subsequent slide. Concentration banking. Okay, now coming to the lockbox. Under a lockbox system, customers are advised to mail their payments to special post office box called lock boxes. In every post office, the company can have their own post bag, like lock boxes, where the customers can be advised to drop their checks. Thus, the lockbox system, you can just read it. It cuts the mailing time. Checks are received immediately, reduces the processing time, shortens the availability delay. Okay, so that is what is called as lockbox system. Then factoring, it is a special agent who is appointed to collect the receivables. This factoring is the next topic which I will discuss later. Okay, and then you have a Delcredar agent, a third party who is appointed to collect the dues from the customers. Concentration banking is where companies will have their own. Firm may open collection centers in different parts of the country to save the posted delays. Like concentration banking is wherever the companies, banker as a branch, they will have a concentration banking. They can ask the branch office to collect on behalf of the company. If the company is Hindustan Unilever Limited and if they have the account in SBI, in whichever place SBI has branch, there the debtor can go and deposit his check. Okay, so that is what is called as concentration banking. Now, how to control these receivables is by using these formulas, by doing this DSO, daily sales outstanding formula, accounts receivable by average daily sales. If it is more, which means more debtors or more credit is given to the customers, or aging schedule can be done. So every day or at the end of every week, they can do a aging schedule. Debtors who are in the age group of 0 to 30 days. Out of the total debtors, 30%. 31 to 60 days old debtors, 40 percentage of the total debtors. 61 to 90 days old, say 25%, or more than 90 days debtors, say 5%. In this way, they do the aging schedule. They'll have a proper control over the receivables. So these are the two important methods of controlling the receivables. So with this, the receivables management is over. Receivables management arises whenever company has a credit policy, liberal credit policy. They end up with the receivables management. They have to manage the debtors, only then it can be collected properly. And for that, they will not just like that give a credit to any debtor. They need to do a proper investigation and analysis. Only then credit is given to the creditors. So all these things are discussed in this topic. you can have a leisurely listening once again to this topic and make a clear understanding. Thank you, students.